Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming here this morning on a cold October morning to engage with our concept of how we help Northamptonshire bring the big society together. The big society to me invokes those famous words from President Kennedy: ask not what your country can do for you, but also what you can do for your country. This remains true within our own county, and with the big society we need to move to a place where we have a civil society that is aware, prepared and engaged in the great challenges to come. So what does big society mean to you, and what will it mean for Northamptonshire? Through our interactive session this morning, we have already started to explore these questions, and I hope by the end of today we'll be able to have a clearer understanding of how we can move forward as a Northamptonshire community and continue to build big society in our county. I say continue to build because I'm very aware that the aims and ambitions of big society already exist here. We simply want to bring them out and do more with them. A recent poll found that 40% of people say they know a fair amount about big society, and half of those asked think it could be good for their area and for the country. But more than half think that big society is a good idea in principle, and nearly 60% feel it's just an excuse for the government to save money by cutting back on public services. Clearly, there's a lot of work to be done to make big society real, but having witnessed at first hand its development, I know of the great passion and drive to empower local people and communities, but recognise the journey will not be easy and will require us all to work together to bring about lasting change. I recognise the fears involved with this and the number of changes we need to make in all sectors. So today, I pledge to you on behalf of the County Council to listen to your concerns, and wherever we can to look again at any of the things which we are holding you back from making the big society a reality. And if we do not have power to make those changes, we will add our voice to yours, and I will ensure that government knows about the outcomes from today and they form part of the discussions in Westminster about how we move this idea forward. The voluntary and charitable sector has seen many changes over the last decade as the bureaucratic burden has placed strains on the work all of us do and hindered progress. I've experienced this at first hand as the chairman of the Board of Trustees of Kidsaid, a growing children's charity here in Northamptonshire, and these lessons must be learnt as big society develops. Kidsaid helps traumatised children, and our work has made a real difference to young people across the county and has given me a wonderful insight into the challenges and rewards volunteering can bring. We all know Northamptonshire is a strong and vibrant voluntary sector which makes a real difference to people each and every day. Without your hard work and dedication, this county would be a poorer place to live. But the voluntary sector cannot build the big society alone. It is an agenda which will see greater involvement of many individuals and groups in the way to determine the way the UK is governed. And it represents one of the biggest changes in social policy for over a generation. An agenda that will unite charities, faith groups, local authorities, business, local groups and associations, as well as residents who want to make a contribution towards the establishment of an empowered and sustainable civil society. The huge number of people attending this event today shows we realise how important it is that we all aware, prepare and engage with the big society. We need to understand the national picture in terms of funding, the government's ambition, the proposed changes by the state towards the voluntary sector nationally, the local perspective led by local authorities, and the potential scale of what the state will no longer be doing as a matter of course. In addition to this, we need to be prepared in terms of capacity, resources other than just people such as buildings and materials, and to be prepared emotionally for the cultural shift that is being spoken about. And being engaged will be vital as we need to work together to help plan delivery, build knowledge of local communities, groups and people who need help in whichever way, and become innovative in sharing our assets and expertise. Local councils and their communities will need to embrace the power that is being developed and come together and make big society work in Northamptonshire and across the country. I have no doubt that we can establish ourselves as a leading county, which is able to radically challenge outdated thinking and old-fashioned delivery methods, and embrace the energy and ideas of local people and groups. Greg Clark, the key minister overseeing the development of Big Society, has said that he hoped it won't be long before we see significant public sector reforms spreading from one part of the country to another, without ever having appeared in a government green or white paper. That would be a sign that Britain is truly decentralised and that the Big Society has truly arrived. Today has already shown that we have considerable potential in this room to deliver a future built on the foundations of empowerment and partnership, a future that it could become the national model for Big Society. Although there's been a great deal written and spoken about empowering local people and groups, it is sometimes easy to forget the scale of work they currently undertake in their communities and the impact it has. The County Council's Empowering Councillors scheme, which gives each county councillor £10,000 to spend within the area they represent, has vividly shown how a small amount of help can untap huge resource and potential locally, bringing communities and neighbourhoods together. We often know the cost of this help, but rarely do we consider the social returns of such investments. I have seen firsthand in the area I represent how small amounts of money can make a huge difference to bring together communities and break down barriers. The legacy which a small investment leaves behind is immeasurable. The role and need of local leadership in this new journey will become more apparent as the government expectations of Big Society become clearer. As a county, we need to be able to support the training and development of those who feel called to make a contribution to their local communities and neighbourhoods. A lot of people have said to me they would like to volunteer and offer their skills and time to make a valid contribution. But taking that first step is often difficult, and we need to work together to make this easier. We also need to find a way to ensure that strong local leadership continues to come forward so that our Big Society continues in years to come. Our work to make local leadership happen is truly an investment in our future. With this in mind, I'm pleased to announce today that the County Council is launching a new exciting initiative for Northamptonshire. We want to develop a leadership academy for our county, something that will be unique to us. This exciting project will act as a catalyst to ensure that the civil society in our county remains vibrant and active, as it will help people and groups across Northamptonshire to help themselves and be free from the red tape and bureaucracy that can obstruct those who want to build a civil society. The University of Northampton have already agreed to work in partnerships with the County Council to make this a reality. And I look forward to working with colleagues from the university and other partners across all sectors to make this visionary idea a reality very soon. I'm sure that today's conference will give us a strong head start and enable us to build on what already exists in Northamptonshire. We have considerable reason to be proud of what our county is doing and what it has done. If we can set the direction for a future where power is invested in people, common sense is rewarded, and that people are listened to and trusted, we'll be well prepared for the future. Today's event brings together a number of expert speakers to give us their views and perspectives on Big Society, as well as the opportunity for you to put your questions and comments to them. We'll also have a number of workshops which I'm sure will help us to gain a better picture of where Northamptonshire is as a county at present and what we need to do to successfully take Big Society forward. Today is also about capturing your hopes, fears and challenges, and with the various sessions and workshops there'll be many opportunities to share and discuss them. In addition to this, you can also add any suggestions to our thought tree or approach one of the discussion corners to speak to members of our team who'll be happy to answer your questions and provide advice. I hope you'll find today interesting as well as enjoyable, as this is a wonderful opportunity to share ideas and discuss our shared future. The fact that so many of you are here today demonstrates that Northamptonshire has a vibrant, committed and forward-looking civil society, and I'm sure that we'll all gain a deeper insight into how we all work and how we can go forward together and make the Big Society a reality here in Northamptonshire.